Ah yes, Citus. Not to be confused with a certain Cyrus who will keep popping up on iTunes Store when you search for Citus songs, even though this is definitely not what I was searching for. Thank you very much! This rhythm game by Taiwanese independent developer Wayak was released on the iTunes Store in January 2012 for the price of a measly $2. Producer Ming Yang explained that the goal of the game was to be both an affordable and an also expansive quality entry into the genre, and boy does it show. As of version 9.0, there are more than 100 playable songs that come with the basic purchase of the software on either iOS or Android devices. And though the PS Vita version of the game, which was sold at a bafflingly higher price to the regular version despite being virtually the same, which makes you wonder why they thought anyone would bother getting it in the first place, has been discontinued indefinitely. The game is far from done expanding, with an arcade version recently released to Japanese game centers and a sequel well on its way. The game also currently holds the title of the most downloaded iOS music game in a long list of countries, including but not limited to Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, the Netherlands, and Macau, wherever that may be. Oh, there it is. Now you might think to yourself, a rhythm game with 100 playable songs for $2? Sounds sweet! Where's the catch? Well, there sort of is one, but whether this is actually a disadvantage depends entirely on your taste. You see, Citus is a very simplistic game, limiting itself to the bare essentials of what is needed for the genre. Unlike many other well-known rhythm games, there are no characters to choose from, no videos, and next to no animations playing in the background as you play. There's also pretty much zero customization. You open the game, you select a song, and bam, you're playing. No long menus of selections, no score lists, no models of JRPG characters to dress up in swimsuits and seaweed. Just you, the song, and the beat map, plain and simple. To many players, this lack of variety might be detrimental. To me, it's the perfect approach for an iOS game, since all this stripping down means that the game has very short loading times, almost never crashes, and only takes up 2 gigs of space on my iPhone, which makes me, an owner of the 4C 16 gigs variety, very happy. This game is just perfect for passing some time waiting on the bus or entertaining yourself in a 3-minute break at work, since most of the songs are just about 2 minutes long, and the aforementioned short loading times make it simple to just boot up the game and play a couple of rounds before you go back to your business. As a smartphone game, Citus is entirely touchscreen based. The player, that is you, is tasked with hitting the notes that appear on screen, which are these things, at the exact moment that the scan line, also known as this thing, passes over them, if possibly exactly when it is in the note's middle. That would be, here. There are 3 types of notes. Click notes, which you need to tap once, drag notes, which are actually several connected notes which you must hit not by tapping but by dragging your finger across the screen, and hold notes, which you need to hold your finger on until the scan line has passed a certain distance on the screen. The scan line passes over the screen at a constant speed, which varies according to the song's BPM or according to how sadistic the mapper was feeling that day, acting as your gog for the tempo you're supposed to hit the beats in. Each song comes in 2 difficulties, easy and hard, which are graded in difficulty levels ranging from 1 to 9. 1 is a song you play if you've just started the game and are trying to get hang of the different types of notes and the timing, while 9 is an excellent way of either giving yourself a thumb cramp in both your hands or causing yourself to smash your phone or tablet at the next best wall in an uncontrollable fit of frustration and rage. Citus does not have a damage meter like other rhythm games, and each song's score caps out at a mere 1 million points for an MM rating, the highest possible grade you can get, making it a lot less frustrating to play than the likes of Dance Dance Revolution or P4D. However, for those craving a bigger challenge, the game also offers a TP system, which measures your average accuracy in hitting each note with perfect timing, so all the score hunters among you can go have fun trying to get that number up to 100%. I haven't managed to do that even once yet, not with a single song, and I've gotten a lot of MM ratings on a bunch of different songs already. There is an option to turn on click sound effects to go with hitting your notes, but in this specific game I actually find this added responsiveness more distracting than anything, which may be due to how it meddles with the music. And the music... oh my god, this game's music, it's so good! I've been playing some of the game's songs in the background all throughout this video, but the soundtrack is actually a lot more diverse than this bit could ever showcase, spawning many genres such as J-pop, jazz, electronic, trance, and drum and bass. Despite the game's Taiwanese origins, a large number of songs were actually composed by Japanese independent artists, and if you're a fan of doujin artists affiliated with the label Diverse System, such as Sakujo or Chi, you're definitely gonna love this game's musical style. There are also some Korean artists like M2U and artists from Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, and even Russia and Italy. The array is pretty wide. The songs are arranged not by title or composer, but in chapters of up to 10 songs each, with usually 1 or 2 additional songs hidden somewhere in the other songs' illustrations. And would you believe me that this arrangement actually follows the game's story? Yes, you heard right, this game has a story. Kind of. It's not actually something that is addressed in the game itself, just a little backstory that serves as basis of the game's aesthetics and is reflected in its chapter illustrations and a few of the songs, as well as the official website. In fact, the few songs that actually do show parts of the story do it in such a terribly vague way that I had to check the website to figure out what any of this was even supposed to mean. And even then, the website was written in such terrible English that I had to seek out the story's Japanese version and read that to make sense of it. Basically, as far as I can tell, the story of Citus is set in a post-apocalyptic world where robots called operators that were meant to serve as a means to achieve immortality via memory upload are the sole survivors of a pandemic caused by a mutant virus. However, as it turns out, the memory storage space of these operators is limited, and as they continue to live, they are forced to overwrite their old human memories with new ones. In a vain attempt to preserve the emotions in these memories and thus their humanity, the operators have resorted to converting their human memories into music files and saving them in a central storage unit called Citus, in order to relive their human emotions whenever they listen to the music. One day, digging in her Citus files, an operator called Vanessa discovers a diary entry she made when she was still human, and remembers that by becoming an operator, she left all her human friends and family to die, losing them. Shocked by this revelation and struggling with her identity as both a machine and a human, Vanessa travels deeper into Citus' core, where she ends up discovering the bodies of hundreds of humans frozen in a cryogenic state, among them the real Vanessa. Realizing that she can't live instead of someone whose memories she can't carry, the operator Vanessa unfreezes the real Vanessa along with all the other frozen humans. The humans return to rebuild their society, while Vanessa, the operator, continues trying to come to terms with her solitude. Pretty heavy stuff for a rhythm game, huh? Then again, if the reputation of Wayark's other rhythm game, Demo, is any indication, this kind of thing seems to be kind of their trademark. Still, with a complex scenario like this, it would kind of be nice if it were actually addressed in the game proper. Just saying. Puzzling is also the implication that all songs in the game are actually converted memories of the operators in-universe, given that several chapters, such as Chapter K and the recently released Chapter L, use songs to tell their own stories, both of which seem to be set in medieval-ish times. Heck, Chapter T is even trying to tackle the entire history of Taiwan. When in the world were operators first invented? Or were they trying to use memory upload to revive dead people somewhere down the line? Oh well. Maybe Citus 2 and Citus Omega are gonna have the decency to explain some of this. As mentioned before, Wayark's declared goal with Citus was to make an expansive and affordable rhythm game. However, they quickly had to discover what everyone selling games online has to discover, and that's that if there's a means and ways to get your product for free, nobody is gonna bother paying for it. So, in response to continued piracy shenanigans, instead of raising the game's price to make up for losses, Wayark eventually devised the so-called million download plan, essentially holding an already planned free update with new songs hostage until at least 100k more users had downloaded the game legally, thus forcing you to tell your friends and family about the game and getting them to download it legally if you ever wanted to see it update for free again. A pretty clever way of going about it, isn't it? As of the time of this recording, the million download plan was completed successfully, with about 150 songs coming for free with the game when you download it, and about 50 more available as optional in-app purchases. Citus is a very simple, intuitive game, which may not offer the high levels of challenge and customization bigger, more expansive rhythm games have, but definitely scores points with presentation, atmosphere, and enough amazing music to fill 4 separate albums and then some. No, seriously, the 4 albums they've released so far cover only half of the songs. That's how many there are. I've found a load of awesome composers who I would probably never have noticed otherwise. Now I can enjoy and support them, and it's all thanks to this incredibly fun, convenient little game that I'm sure is going to be my top 1 time killer for a long time to come. Abscond Tetris Blitz! I am free!